The grand arena was alive with the sound of 1,000 different species cheering in unison. This wasn't just any arena, this was the Nexus Coliseum, the largest and most prestigious fighting venue in the galaxy. Gladiators from all across the universe came to prove their mettle, and only the most skilled emerged victorious. The audience was made up of beings from 1,000 different worlds, their races as varied as their abilities. It was a spectacle unlike any other. Today, the crowd had gathered to witness something extraordinary. For the first time, Earth was sending a representative, a human. The Galactica Alliance had long dismissed humanity as weak, primitive, and unworthy of their time. Earth's technology was primitive compared to the advanced civilizations of the galaxy. Its warriors, laughed at as nothing more than simple-minded brutes, were regarded with disdain. But Earth, with its fierce sense of survival and its untapped potential, was about to prove them all wrong. The hum of the arena was electric with anticipation as the fighters prepared for their matches. Aliens of all shapes and sizes lined the combatants' halls, each waiting for their turn. The gladiators from far-off systems took their places in the arena, preparing for the fight of their lives. A towering insectoid from the planet Gortan, a hulking bio-warrior from Velcron 7, and a lithe feline fighter from Zorvoth Prime all were ready to face each other in combat. The crowd, however, was not paying attention to any of them. No, their eyes were trained on the massive projection screen above the arena where Earth's fighter would soon be revealed. The announcer's voice echoed across the Colosseum, amplified by technology far beyond anything Earth had ever seen. Introducing Earth's representative. The announcer boomed, his voice bouncing off the arena walls, a being who has defied the odds, and against all expectation, is about to enter the Nexus arena. Prepare yourselves for a human. The crowd erupted in laughter, their laughter resonating throughout the stadium. A human? What could this fragile creature possibly do against the gladiators they had seen over the years? It was a joke. The word human was already a punchline to them. But then, the gates opened. Out stepped a figure clad in a sleek black suit, with a mask covering their face and a graceful yet fierce presence that immediately commanded attention. Unlike the massive gladiators around them, this human was small, almost fragile-looking, but there was something about their demeanor that drew the gaze of every being in the arena. This human was not a fighter like the others. This human was something different. The crowd fell silent as the figure removed their hood. The sleek ninja suit gleamed under the lights. It was a simple yet elegant outfit, dark and tight-fitting, built for speed, agility, and stealth. The human didn't wear bulky armor like the other gladiators. Instead, they wore a belt with a variety of gadgets, but none of them appeared to be weapons. At least not at first glance. This human wasn't just any warrior. This human was a ninja. The announcer's voice crackled again, filled with awe. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you the human from Earth, Ryukage. As the name was announced, a wave of confusion rippled through the crowd. Ryukage was not a name any of the galactic warriors knew. They had assumed the human who entered the arena would be a brute, a soldier of some kind, but Ryukage, this was different. The ninja's presence was calm, collected, yet undeniably menacing. The way they moved with fluid grace was almost hypnotic. As Ryukage stepped into the center of the arena, they surveyed the other gladiators around them. The towering insectoid warrior from Gortan flexed its armored limbs menacingly, clearly eager to tear the human apart. The bio-warrior from Velcron 7 snarled, its cybernetic arm whirring to life. And the feline fighter from Zorvoth Prime bared its teeth, eyes filled with a hungry thirst for blood. They all laughed. What can a human do? One of them sneered. They can't even lift a proper weapon. But Ryukage didn't respond with words. They didn't need to. The gong of the arena rang, signaling the start of the battle. The other gladiators charged forward, their powerful forms ready to annihilate their new foe. The insectoid charged with terrifying speed, its sharp pincers aiming for Rio's throat. The bio-warrior's cybernetic limbs crackled with energy as it swung a massive spiked club, while the Zorvoth feline leapt into the air with deadly claws outstretched. But Ryokage was faster. In a blur of movement, the ninja sidestepped the insectoid's charge, effortlessly ducking under the bio-warrior's massive weapon. With a swift motion, Ryokage lashed out, striking the insectoid's leg with a precise, calculated blow. The alien's leg buckled beneath the impact, causing it to stumble and fall to the ground, its chitinous armor cracking under the pressure. It screeched in pain, unable to regain its balance as Ryo moved like a shadow. The crowd gasped. The insectoid warrior had been taken down so easily. But this was just the beginning. Before the bio-warrior could react, Ryokage was already on the move again. The ninja's body seemed to blend with the shadows, a blur of motion as they dashed towards the hulking gladiator. With a series of fluid strikes, Ryokage disabled the cybernetic arm of the bio-warrior, sending it spinning in the air. The bio-warrior roared in fury, but its movements were slow and clumsy without its enhanced arm. Ryokage delivered a precise blow to the bio-warrior's chest, knocking the wind from it and sending it crumbling to the ground. The crowd was no longer laughing. Now, the Zorvoth feline leapt from the air, its claws aimed for Ryo's throat. But the ninja's reflexes were beyond even the Zorvoth's keen senses. In a split second, Ryokage twisted mid-air, avoiding the claws, and landed behind the feline. With a flick of the wrist, the ninja's blade thin and sharp as a whisper slashed across the Zorvoth's back, leaving a glowing cut that caused the alien to howl in agony. The feline rolled, trying to recover, but Ryo was already moving. Without breaking a sweat, Ryokage closed the distance and incapacitated the Zorvoth with a single pressure point strike to the neck, rendering it unconscious. The crowd, stunned into silence, watched as the last of the gladiators fell. The once arrogant warriors were now lying defeated in the dust, their pride shattered. And there, standing in the center of the arena, was Ryokage the human ninja. A hush fell over the crowd as the announcer struggled to find words. By the stars. Is it possible? Has Earth's fighter defeated the greatest gladiators of the galaxy? The silence was broken by the roar of the crowd. They were no longer laughing. They were cheering for the human who had defied all expectations. Ryokage had not only survived, they had triumphed, using speed, agility, and unparalleled precision. As the dust settled, Ryokage stood tall, their chest rising and falling with controlled breaths. They had proven that Earth was not just a backwater planet, it was home to warriors unlike any the galaxy had seen before. The announcer's voice filled the arena once again, but this time, there was no mockery. And the winner of today's battle is Ryokage of Earth. The human ninja, with one last glance at the fallen gladiators, turned and walked out of the arena. The message was clear: Earth had arrived. And the galaxy would never be the same again. As Ryokage left the arena, their mission was far from over. The galaxy had laughed at Earth, but it had just learned that humans were not to be underestimated. With their unparalleled skill, the ninja had proven that humanity had more to offer than the galaxy could ever imagine. And Ryokage wasn't done yet. There were many more battles to come. This was just the beginning.